Friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well and you have followed my lectures, physics and geophysics learning with me. So let's recapitulate up to now what we have discussed. So starting with, I have given you basic description about the basic geophysical techniques, how to probe the earth. It's a very basic idea to which you can gain knowledge. Novice also can have understanding on that. Second, I have just entered into the gravity methods, the gravitational field of the earth, and different reduction and the correction that is applied and measured on the gravity data, and in practically how to measure the gravity with the absolute and the relative case. And in connection with that, I have given you the derivation of about physical derivation. You can gain little bit knowledge about the gravitational field and the simple pendulum and the gravitational potential, so which the intermediate students, means the class 12 students, can follow for many competitive exams like JEE mains, JEE advanced, the little derivation about the calculation. And then afterwards I have given the description about the gravity anomalies from bodies with simple geometries, and which entails some only the basic mathematical things and not more than that. The density, volume of the sphere and the cylinder, and at the with geometry, with graph, how it can vary, so they can get an idea, students, how physics and geophysics are related to each other, and not they are very different. Only by applying the basic mathematical things and little bit of geology, if you know, it will be good for you to follow these geophysical things. But now, unless until you solve some numerical problems, the idea will not be very clear to you. So now for physics students now can enjoy the sessions with some numerical session, which will be more familiar to them. And not only that, the intermediate students also can follow these numerical things, numerical lectures involving the gravity, the heat flow, mainly gravitational things, and little bit of mechanics, which will just strengthen their base on appearing for different on various competitive exam, and which will be really beneficial for them for appearing in many types of exam, and like CSIR, NET, GATE, and JEST. So many types of exam, they can be really beneficial. So friends, let's enjoy the numerical session. And if you have any problem in understanding this, you can comment on the chat section of the YouTube in below my channel. And for getting more updates and to get notified about the more updates, you will just have to subscribe, follow and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Good luck and best of wishes for you.
So let's go through this numerical question. What are there? There are two equal masses of same 6.4 kilo, 6.4 kilo with a distance of 0.16 meter. A small body that is at the P, which is released from a point P and from the two masses at a distance 0.6 meter, that you can see in the picture. We have to compute the acceleration of the body at this point and at this point Q. So and the mass of the body is small mass 0.1 kilo. So let's draw this line. Now what you can see, when the body is at this point Q point, acceleration is very easy. Body is that point, so suppose the body is at the point Q. Now what will happen? ए बॉडी जो है ये बड़ा मास का है, सो इट विल अट्रैक्ट द स्मॉल बॉडी 0.1 किलो टुवर्ड्स हिम. बड़ा बॉडी ऑलमोस्ट छोटा बॉडी को अपनी तरफ खींचेगा, सिंपल बात है. और इधर भी सेम बड़ा बॉडी ये अपने आप इसको खींचेगा. तो इसको क्या होता है, ये दो फोर्स अपने आप को नलीफाई करेगा. अगर इसको आप F1 नाम दे, इसको F2 नाम दे, तो F1 इज इक्वल टू माइनस F2, तो इधर जो रिजल्टेंट फोर्स होगा, सो एक्सेलरेशन एट Q इज इक्वल टू 0. बहुत बढ़िया है, इधर तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. पर इफ़ यू हैव टू कंप्यूट द एक्सेलरेशन एट पॉइंट P, so you have to make a resultant of that, the force. When the body is at P, तो then द फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, जो बड़ा बॉडी है उसको अपने तरफ खींचेगा, लेट्स एफ जी। ये जो बॉडी है ये भी एफ जी होगा क्योंकि ये डिस्टेंस सेम है। ओके, सो द सपोज इस एंगल हम अल्फ़ा पकड़ते हैं, ये अल्फ़ा है, ये भी अल्फ़ा है, तो जो रिजल्टेंट एक्सेलरेशन होगा टोटल एफ, वो क्या होगा, एफ हम लोग लिख सकते हैं, वी कैन राइट एफ जी स्क्वायर प्लस एफ जी स्क्वायर माइनस 2 ऑफ एफ जी इंटू एफ जी कॉस ऑफ द एंगल बिटवीन द टू। व्हाट इज द कॉस ऑफ द एंगल, दिस इज द 2 अल्फा, तो हम लिख सकते हैं इसको एफ जी इंटू रूट ओवर ऑफ 2 इंटू 1 माइनस कॉज ऑफ 2 अल्फा। अभी अल्फा कितना है इस ट्रायंगल से पता से कर सकते हैं, दिस फ्रॉम दिस ट्रायंगल tan अल्फा हम लिख सकते हैं, tan अल्फा इज इक्वल टू 0.08 दिस बाई 0.06, दिस डिस्टेंस 0.06 इज इक्वल टू, इसको आप कैलकुलेट करने से 1.33, तो अब अगर कैलकुलेटर से कैलकुलेट करेंगे तो 53.13 डिग्री। ओके, और इस ट्रायंगल से आप देख सकते हैं ये जो डिस्टेंस है, ये जो डिस्टेंस है मतलब ए पी स्क्वायर, इसको पकड़ते हैं आर स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू ए पी स्क्वायर 0.08 होल स्क्वायर प्लस 0.06 होल स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू कितना होता है 0.01। दिस आर इज नीडेड फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द ग्रेविटेशनल एक्सेलरेशन। ओके, सो एफ जी का वैल्यू, एफ जी हम कैसे मेजर करेंगे, इज इक्वल टू जी इंटू एम इंटू स्मॉल एम बाई that small r square, this m is capital M, this m is small m, and this r is capital R square. So what is our objective, our objective is to calculate the acceleration of the body at point P. So acceleration क्या होगा, acceleration होगा total acceleration is equal to total force divided by m is equal to the mass of the body. तो from this one अगर हम उसको 1 पकड़ेंगे, एफ क्या होता है √2 मीन्स 1.414 एंड समथिंग, इसको हम 1 माइनस कॉस 2 अल्फा, अल्फा का वैल्यू अगर पकड़ लेंगे √2 इंटू एफ जी इंटू √1 माइनस कॉस ऑफ 160.6 दिस डिग्री। ओके, सो इसको हम पकड़ एफ इज इक्वल टू कैलकुलेट करने से अराउंड रफली 1.6 जी, तो हम इससे हम ए को पकड़ लेते हैं। अब सिंपल कैलकुलेशन, आप आइडिया पकड़ लिए हैं, सो अभी वैल्यू आप इसमें वैल्यू आप इसमें दे दीजिए 1.6 इंटू जी का वैल्यू कितना है, यूनिवर्सल ग्रेविटेशनल एक्सेलरेशन 1.66 इंटू 10 टू द पावर माइनस 11 इंटू 6.4 इंटू 0.1 जी एम एम डिवाइडेड बाई आर स्क्वायर 0.01 इंटू द मास ऑफ द बॉडी 0.1। टोटल एफ को हम इधर से एफ का वैल्यू ये हम इधर में रिप्लेस कर देंगे, रिप्लेसिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ ऑल दिस जी एम एम आर स्क्वायर √2 एफ जी एंड ऑल द एंगल्स। सो इसका सो इट कम्स आउट टू बी अराउंड -8, देयर इज -3 माइनस 11 प्लस 3 10 to the -8 meter per second square, it is the acceleration. So the acceleration of the body at q is 0 and the acceleration of the body at a of p is equal to like that. We have discussed in our lecture in PowerPoint that how we can calculate the acceleration of the body. We have to first calculate the force on the body. So this force is like F force. F force is a resultant of two forces, Fg and Fg. When the body is at P, we have to calculate the Fg. So Fg is the gravitational acceleration between these 2 points and this also. And if we make the simple calculation, the resultant acceleration comes out to be this. So hope you have understand the problem. So friends, this is the question of the small oscillation problem. What is written? Please let us go through this problem first. It's a rigid massless rod having the length L by 2. It is attached to a sphere. The sphere is drawn. The diameter of the sphere is L. That means the radius is just this distance is L by 2. Okay. It is free to pivot about the point O. Now we have to calculate the frequency of small oscillation about the equilibrium position. So in one of my previous lecture in deriving the gravitational potential and small oscillation problem I have derived about the time period of simple pendulum. Hope you have remembered this problem. Now this problem is all about the students appearing for JEE mains, JEE entrance, and also BSc level exam. So both of them can follow this. So let's just start this problem. Now suppose at any point the sphere, now let's the sphere, it is making an angle theta with the normal. This is the oscillation is small, so its theta is very small angle. Please note that. We have to calculate the frequency of small oscillation. If this angle is theta, this is also a theta. So calculating, just drawing the vector diagram, this mass is m of the sphere. So this is mg, weight is acting perpendicular, just vertically downwards. So this angle, this is also an angle theta. So this will be mg cos theta, and this angle, this will be mg sin theta, acting towards the center. Okay, so the torque of mass m about the pivoting point O is equal to, what will be the torque? The force acting in this direction, that is mg minus sin theta into L, that is torque. That means L means total length, L by 2, this L by 2 and this is L by 2. Okay, so this will be minus mg L sin theta. So I have already described previously also that the minus sign will be there. It's a restoring force, restores the pendulum mass back to its initial position. So this the sign will be negative. Now the torque, it can be also written as the moment of inertia about the point O, I0, and alpha. Alpha is the angular acceleration. What is alpha? Alpha is the angular acceleration. So angular acceleration, what will be the angular acceleration? Alpha is equal to the theta double dot, means the double derivative of that angular displacement, but theta is the angular displacement. Okay, now how we can determine I0? I0 is equal to the moment of inertia of the sphere about this axis. It will be 2 by 5 m into L by 2, that radius whole square, plus m into that distance from the center to the pivoting point, L by 2 plus L by 2. How you can determine? If there is a sphere, if there is axis AB, this is a parallel axis theorem, and this is an axis CD. So the moment of inertia about the axis CD is equal to moment of inertia about the axis AB plus the distance between the axis, ml square. This will be the parallel axis theorem. So we are applying the same parallel axis theorem. So with a little bit calculation, we can find that this will be 2 by 5 ml square by 4 plus ml square. So it will be ml square into 11 by 10. Okay, this is the moment of inertia about the axis. So we can write this torque, we can equate this torque is equal to this torque. So I0 into d2 theta by dt square is equal to minus of mgl sin theta. So substituting the value of I0, we can get ml square 11 by 10 to d2 theta dt square is equal to minus mgl sin theta. So doing the little bit calculation and just dividing by ml square into 10 by 11, you can get d2 theta dt square plus 10g by 11l into theta is equal to 0. Here we are assuming sin theta is equal to theta. I have also described why, because for small oscillation this will be almost vertical and the angle will be small. So we can write for the expansion of sin theta, we can take only the first term, and with that sin theta will be theta. This is the assumption for small oscillation. Okay, so comparing the equation with that, d2 theta d plus omega square theta is equal to 0, these two equation 1 and 2, we can get omega is equal to root over of 10g by 11l. So this is the frequency of small oscillation about the sphere about that pivoting point O. Okay. So friends, this is the question of like little bit mechanics and little bit gravitational acceleration also involved there. Let's first read the problem. There is a uniform ball of radius r. It rolls without slipping from the top of the sphere with radius r. This is a big sphere with radius r. This is a small sphere of radius small r. We have to calculate the angular velocity of the ball when it breaks off the sphere at that position. The initial velocity of the ball is negligible. So how can we write this? Let's the ball, suppose at initially the ball is here and it rolls down and comes to a position of B at any point at any time. So that time, if we can consider the free body diagram, the mass of the ball is acting downward, small mg. If that angle is theta, so along the center mg cos theta is acting, and this n is the normal reaction force, normal reaction of the surface. So from free body diagram, what we can write, this mg cos theta minus of that normal reaction, that resultant force along this direction is equal to, can be equalized with the centrifugal acceleration. In my theoretical lecture, I have discussed about the centrifugal acceleration and the diagram of it. So I hope you don't have any problem grasping that things. So we can write, when the ball breaks up the sphere, that n will be 0. We can write mg cos theta is equal to mv square by r plus r, where we have to calculate the angular velocity of the ball. Angular velocity is omega, so v is equal to omega into radius of the sphere. So v square is equal to omega square into r square. Substituting that, we can get g cos theta is equal to omega square r square by capital R plus R. This R plus R is for that radius is R, and that small radius is also small r. So the total distance OB we can write capital R plus R. Okay, so this is our number 1 point. Now our second aspect is, when the ball is rolling down from point A to B, there will be a gain in the kinetic energy. So what will be the gain? So gain in kinetic energy will be half mv square plus half of I omega square. I omega is angular kinetic energy. I is the moment of inertia. I can write half of mv can be replaced as omega square r square plus half into 2 by 5, because the sphere about the axis of rotation, the moment of inertia will be 2 by 5 m r square. So m r square omega square, it will be 7 by 10 m omega square r square. Okay, since gain in kinetic energy can be equal with the loss in potential energy according to the energy conservation. So the loss of potential energy will be loss of potential energy. When the sphere is at the position A, the potential energy will be, what will the potential energy? The potential energy will be first mg into the height. Height means that from OA. So this point to this point, that height will be, r plus r minus that mg, that when the sphere is at this point, so this is r plus r cos theta. How? From triangle OPB we can write cos theta is equal to that OP by that OB. So OP is equal to, this OB is equal to, we have written r plus r, so r plus r into cos theta. So we can write mg into r plus r cos theta. So this is our potential energy. So mg of r plus r into 1 minus cos of theta. So this gain in kinetic energy will be, can be equal to the loss of potential energy. So equaling these two terms, we can get mg into r plus r into 1 minus cos of theta is equal to 7 by 10 m omega square r square. So g into 1 minus cos theta is equal to 7 by 10 omega square r square by r plus r. Now this can, now from equation, this is the equation 2. From equation 1 we can get let's write again the equation 1. G cos theta is equal to omega square r square by r plus r. This is the equation our number 1. So from this two we can get G into 1 minus cos theta is equal to 7 by 10, and this omega square r square by r plus r, substituting this as G cos theta. Okay, so from this we can get cos theta is equal to 10 by 17. Okay, so omega square will be, from this we have to calculate the angular velocity of the ball. Omega square will be 10 g into r plus r divided by 17 of r square. So our omega square is related, this is the angular velocity of the ball, it is related with the gravitational acceleration, the radius of the bigger sphere, the radius of the smaller sphere, and the radius of, and the this. So omega is dependent on, one is capital R, one is small r, and one is g. Friends, this is the question of simple heat loss from the earth with basic things applied, nothing about the gravitational force, but only about the earth, at which the earth and sun is losing its heat. So let's first read the question thoroughly. At a distance equal to the radius of the earth's orbit, the sun's radiation has an intensity of about that watt per meter square. So per area, this is the intensity, this is the energy of the sun. And what is the rate at which the sun is losing its mass? So first we calculate the energy released per second by sun. So it is the intensity means per area that much amount of heat is losing, this amount into the area of the earth's orbit. So this is the, suppose earth's orbit, within that radius, so total, this is the orbit of the radius is 1.5 into 10 power 11 meter, 4 pi into 1.5 into 10 to the power 11, the energy released watt per second. Okay, this amount of energy released per second by the sun. We have to calculate the rate at which the sun is losing its mass. So the rate of loss of mass will be total energy divided by c square. So by the formula E is equal to mc square. So this is the energy released, E, that we can write as E. So we substitute this value of E within that for 11, and this is the C value of C in SI unit, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second square. So after some calculation it will comes out to be that 4 into 10 power 9 kg, that amount per second. So at this rate the sun is losing its heat. So you can calculate, this is about this problem is about simple mathematics or nothing else.